I've never made a video like this before, but I just sold my first ever poker company, Upswing Poker. We're also going to break down what it means for you as an Upswing customer or a potential Upswing customer, because we have some pretty sick value I think you're going to be excited about. The idea for Upswing Poker started just about a decade ago when Ryan Fee came to me and said that we should start a poker training site. As two leading experts in the game of poker at the top of our craft, it made sense for us to cash in on that by teaching people how we play the game to improve their skills. We were also joined by digital marketing expert Matt Coletta, and the three of us joined forces to create what is Upswing Poker today. We had three main goals with Upswing Poker that we thought the training market was doing poorly. Our first goal was that poker should be taught by people who can actually win at poker. Now, look, I know there are coaches that are much better at teaching than doing, but the point is the execution part of poker is much easier than in something like sports, where you have to actually be a world-class athlete. In poker, all you have to do is drag those chips across the line or click that mouse. Either way, not the hardest thing to do. Second, I felt like the predecessor to Upswing Poker, really I think of Card Runners, did everything in a video library type way. So there was hundreds or thousands of videos scattered everywhere. You didn't know where to start. I wanted to teach poker in a course format. You start at the beginning, you work your way to the end, and you actually feel like you completed something. And when you add in new material, it kind of bolsters what you have in there. Now, of course, it's always complicated as you add more content, but the idea was more module and course-based learning rather than a hodgepodge video library with tons of stuff in it. And then finally, I wanted to have a small team. When you compare us to some of the other big training sites out there, we've had a much smaller number of coaches that have done courses. And by having an advanced signature course line, we were able to take guys that actually play in some of the highest stakes games that you can find, whether it's tournaments or cash, and bring their education to you, the consumer, to be able to learn from top players in their own signature courses. Upswing Poker was started with just three $5,000 checks between myself, Ryan Fee, and Matt Coletta to get the whole thing going. I'll never forget a month or two later realizing that we would need a second check for $5,000 each to make sure we had enough to get things done. That would be the last time we ever had to invest in Upswing Poker. From then on out, things went amazing, and I honestly could not be more proud of the success the business has had financially and the value that the business has brought to consumers who want to learn and improve at the game of poker. Another funny thing, you might not know this, but this channel only exists because of Upswing Poker. That's right. When we started the company, it became clear to us that the way you promote things is through people, through personal brand rather than a corporate brand. And so we looked around and said, okay, well, who here is most qualified to make YouTube videos? And wasn't going to be Ryan Fee. Sorry, man. Much love. We launched in 2016 with The Lab, and I remember when we first opened up The Lab, which was our subscription-based course for people to improve, I vividly remember calling the first person that ever purchased The Lab to congratulate them and get some feedback, and the next day them telling me that, oh yeah, I didn't actually want this. I don't like this. Can I get my money back? This is just not what I thought it was, in a panicked fashion. I was like, yeah, of course. It wasn't a great start on that first purchase, but we turned a corner, and before we knew it, just days later, The Lab was joined by Ali Amsirovich. What a turn of events. While we're talking about Ali, he recently posted on Instagram this update to his health that he's getting into great shape. His little secret? Eliminating cheat days. Anyway, Upswing Poker rose quickly on the backs of the YouTube content we were creating here on this channel and some of our social media stuff. And before we knew it, we'd actually built up a pretty good sized base of users. And then just a year or so after launching The Lab, we ended up having the tag team bracelet where myself and Ryan Fee took down the first ever tag team, or at least the first tag team since it came back, for a 6-figure score to promote our brand Upswing Poker. Look at those happy guys. There we are. I was playing the one drop during that event, and then on my break in the one drop, which was a $111,000 tournament, I ran over and got to play some heads up in my other event. Pretty cool feeling on your break to go play heads up for a bracelet. Doubled us up there too, and then ran back over to my one drop tournament. And I'm sitting there, and a cameraman comes over and goes, "Hey man, how do you want your winner's photo?" I didn't even know I'd won. From our pretty early days, Upswing Poker was joined by Mike Brady. If you're involved in the Upswing Poker world in any capacity, you probably have seen this guy. I got to give credit where credit is due. We could not have had the success we had without the work that Mike Brady has put into this company. You know, he started off just running social media accounts, and he kept moving up and moving up and moving up. And frankly, you know, by this point, I would say Mike runs more of the company than anyone. I ended up more in coach recruitment and marketing. Matt ended up more on the big picture stuff, ads, things like that. Brady ran the company more day to day, oversaw a lot of the activities. And then Ryan Fee, he goes on vacation professionally. Kind of worked out for everybody. Anyway, things ramped up quickly at Upswing. Our first year, I don't remember how much revenue we did, but I remember by year 2 or 3, we were already doing several $1 million a year in revenue. So it was crazy to go from the world of poker where, you know, it's you have to make everything yourself every day, actively making money, over to running a fairly high margin business that was just growing and growing and growing. I'm sure people would love all the juicy details for member number and amount of revenue, and I can't say all those things. I can say that we've done many millions of dollars in revenue and have tens of thousands of members. Past that, you can maybe make some good estimates. I don't know. But basically, the company grew to a point that we were extremely excited about. The thing is, over the last few years, with the addition of so many other people involved here, we have a Lodge Card Club that we're running now, a lot of the same people. We have ClubWPT Gold that we're working on. We have Lucid Poker. Basically, it used to be that Upswing was my baby and the only thing I was working on. And now it's starting to become more and more and more things. It came up that there was a good opportunity for someone to acquire the company that made a lot of sense for everyone. Which is why the purchase of my poker company is brought to you by ClubWPT Gold. That's right. Head on down today and use code Doug for a 20 Seeps coin book. Wait, hold on. Wrong ad read. In all seriousness, though, this purchase was by ClubWPT Gold. We talked it over, we had a dinner, we hashed out some details, and honestly, this was a lot more painless than I thought that it might be now that I've actually gotten to see what kind of goes on behind the scenes in some of these deals. It was a pretty easy negotiation process, and we got this thing hammered out by all intents and purposes pretty quickly, and then have been working out all the details over the last few months to get to this point today where we officially no longer own Upswing. It is owned by ClubWPT Gold. Let me break this down a little bit about what this means. So all of the people currently working on Upswing will remain working on Upswing. I'm still going to be doing marketing for Upswing, and I'm still going to be doing coach recruitment for Upswing. We're trying to find good quality candidates to come work at the company. I think we have extremely competitive pay. I mean, it's, you know, for the advanced signature courses, it's thousands and thousands of dollars an hour. So if you're a top poker content creator or a top poker coach, top poker player, whatever it is, you can always reach out to me. We are actively recruiting coaches. Mike Brady and Matt Coletta both will stay on as well to help oversee things and make sure that this goes smoothly and that the Upswing brand continues to flourish. And frankly, I think this is going to be a great thing for Upswing Poker because it now has the resources, the platform, the reach to do so much more than it did just with Upswing and through basically my socials. So what does this mean for existing Upswing Poker members? Well, to start off with what you might most be excited for Americans, if you purchase an Upswing Poker course, you will be given sweeps coins to play with on ClubWPT Gold, with the idea being you're able to learn and take your training and then actually apply it out there on the felt. These will be available to anyone no matter which code or you did or didn't use, so head on down and use code Doug today, in my totally unbiased opinion. Once you've signed up on ClubWPT Gold and Upswing, you can link your accounts so when you purchase your courses, you get your sweeps coins on the platform. Pretty simple all in all. Hopefully everything works well because we all know how great the ClubWPT Gold development team can be. I feel like we got to stay authentic to the brand here. If you're an active Upswing Poker Lab member and you link your account starting with your next payment, it should automatically work. Hopefully, we'll keep an eye on that, but that is at least the game plan with what we're trying to do here. As for the experience on Upswing Poker, nothing changes quite yet, but we have some exciting stuff upcoming, including some UI improvements you'll be pretty excited about, and the launch of Lab 2.0 on August 11th. We are totally revamping the Upswing Poker Lab. Lab 2.0 will be led by Uri Peleg. You might already be familiar with some of his work on Upswing Poker. And Lab 2.0 is taking the lab to the next level. We've integrated quizzes, coach interaction, a community, and a live roadmap so you're constantly engaged and improving. If you want more information about Lab 2.0, I'll put a link in the description below. We also have some upcoming signature courses you are going to be incredibly excited about once we can make those announcements. We're not quite there yet, but you're definitely going to want to stay tuned to what's going on at Upswing Poker with our signature course line. We've covered a lot of ground, but a few things to think about here. So I want to talk about Lucid Poker because that's a little bit interesting now. It's actually a different company than Upswing Poker. I'm going to also be working on Lucid Poker, which it will be part owned by Upswing, which is ClubWPT Gold, and the team working on that project. So definitely stay tuned for future updates. We are very excited with where we're headed on Lucid with our big update coming in the near future. In my eyes, I think this is a big step forward for the poker training industry as a whole because we're merging together being able to actually learn and then implement in game and practice the things that you learn on the training site. I think this makes the offering of Upswing pretty substantially stronger than most other training sites, probably all other training sites, frankly. If you can get good priced, great training, and then able to actually then capitalize on that by using those tips, playing on the platform, it seems like an exciting time in the training industry. And I've never seen anything quite like this. I think Card Runners did something similar with Full Tilt back in the day, if I remember correctly, but certainly a giant step forward in the training industry. I think we've just about covered all our bases here. So I want to end with a heartfelt message to you guys. I really do appreciate all of the support over the years. So many people, when I travel around for poker and I meet them, they come up and tell me their story about what Upswing meant to them, about how it changed their life, learning from me, learning from our coaches, learning from our platform. I'm very proud of what we did with Upswing. I still can't believe, sort of in a way, that I don't own it anymore. That's going to feel really weird. Like, do I take the hoodie off? I don't know. I'm excited for the future of the company. I think that the members are in great hands. ClubWPT Gold wants to do cool things in poker. Obviously, we have this like real merging of ClubWPT Gold world and then sort of like the Upswing Lodge YouTube world. But I think it's all for the best. I'm excited to be on board, and I am really excited for the future of this. So thank you guys for joining me on this journey. Thank you for all of the support of Upswing over the years. It means a lot to me, and I feel confident in the future of the company, and I think it's going to be the best place to learn and play poker in America moving forward. So head on down there and use code Doug today. Might as well get your free coins. Actually, wait, there is one last thing. You probably want to know how much Upswing Poker sold for. I imagine that is always the juicy details that people want to know. And I wasn't going to say it, but I guess fuck it, we came this far. We ended up selling Upswing Poker for